This is very exciting. David Santos, Wendy Moten, to have you both here together. You're in Nashville, I'm in New York, to bring this together. The Artist Series at a Distance. Thank you so much for joining me here.
Welcome.
Thank you, Dom. Thank you so much. We're happy to be here.
I've got to ask you now, with the challenges that we have with this insane pandemic, it has affected the music industry dramatically. And both of you who do tremendous recording and touring, both of you are highly active at what you do. Tell me how you're kind of staying motivated now.
When I was young, you know, not that I'm old, but when I was before I got into the real sort of big time rock and roll world, I was playing a lot of piano back at the house, you know, with my parents and all that stuff. I had a piano. Then when I moved to New York and all that, I wanted to just focus on bass. So I left my piano playing alone, focused on bass, and got gigs, did my career on that. And then now that I'm here in this house and not going around doing gigs and stuff, I've got, you know, music everywhere. I'm practicing the piano. I'm sitting at my grand piano right now, and I've got, you know, blues stuff and, you know, classical, even like country, Floyd Kramer. You know, I'm working on everything and just trying to get my reading back. If you could see the room, it's a complete disaster. There's books everywhere, hundreds of them.
I would not necessarily use the word disaster. What that is really serious research and development that you're doing.
She would call it a disaster.
Yes. Oh my gosh, where's my floor?
Clean it up.
What's this book?
Well, this is great that you're doing that kind of, you know, taking advantage of the time that we have been blessed with.
Yes.
Wendy, what about yourself?
Well, you know, there's been these, a lot of collaborations have been happening. And thank goodness, you know, about 10 years ago, I learned Pro Tools because I didn't know if I would still be singing. Yeah. So, you know, sessions have been coming, although we're not getting paid for these sessions, just these collaborations are coming together. And so I've been doing a lot of recording, and a lot of people are, you know, sending any proceeds or whatever to Music Cares and places like that. So musicians from all over the United States, and you know, we've just been collaborating with, you know, somebody will lay a drum track down, David will put down bass, I'll sing vocals.
Yeah.
So that's been going on a lot.
Happened.
Just recording a lot. People just wanting to create, and then I've started to do these like home concerts. I never thought I would do that. Yeah. But I'm that's like, cool. You know, things are going to be different to me when, you know, when we're able to try to get back and actually see people again. It's going to be a different animal. So it's like, I asked myself, are you not going to take advantage of this time and, you know, build an audience of the songs that you like to sing? And so I figured, okay, I'll do concerts and I do free concerts to sing songs that should never be forgotten. And just some of the classics. Yeah, I did one last night. That's classics.
About an hour.
From country to jazz to bluegrass to everything.
Fantastic. Well, tell me about it. Let's take those two different areas of the recordings and then the live concerts. In the recording part, how exactly are you setting that up? How is that working?
So, like this last one we just did, the drummer he sent in just a drum track. Mm-hmm. So then David.
That's right.
I wasn't even supposed to be in the picture. They asked David to put bass to that track. So not only did David kind of structure the song with the right chords and where his song was going to go and where the bridge is going to happen, he had to come up with that. You know, he also came up with the melody and the lyrics.
Yeah, I wrote a song around the drum beat.
He wrote a song around the drum beat. So then the gentleman that asked us to participate, Paul Brown, he was like, well, get Wendy to sing something. So I was recording him and then ended up getting on the session and end up singing what he wrote.
She's the engineer here.
Yeah, I'm an engineer too.
And we have a real studio in the basement. It's 1,000 square feet, and it's got all kind of Pro Tools and boards and, you know, all those things that you would
preamps and all that.
Yeah, that a studio has. But we like to record at the kitchen table
for vocals, and if I'm just cutting bass, they don't have to turn all that stuff on.
So this gentleman named Marco, he plays with Robert Plant, and he's a wonderful drummer, rock drummer, and he sent this drum track via this producer. And it came banging out of the speakers. It was like a real New Orleans-y kind of funky beat. I was like, oh, man, I better write something good to this. So I got my bass out and I wrote a thing. And then it inspired me to want to write lyrics about this situation that we're in. And I called it Let's Go to the River. And I utilized the word river in a sort of a metaphor for getting back to source. And let's get back to like important things that aren't fear driven. And so, here we go with this, man, I can't go outside, and oh God, I'm afraid I'm going to get this disease and all this stuff. Let's get back to the river is the name of the tune. Let's go to the river. It came out really well, and Johnny Depp is involved, and the guitar player from Aerosmith, Brad, is doing a solo today. I just got a text about it. It's got some heavy hitters on it, and Paul Brown played keyboards, and he produced it, and he's producing it, and then Wendy sang it. And it's really good. And she sang the crap out of it.
So you're really taking advantage of the fact that you're not sitting still. There's nothing under your feet that is still right now. So in that movement, this is what's very creative for other musicians to hear about from what the two of you are doing. You are staying in creative mode, and you're staying focused on being an active musician. Even though we have this challenge, it's not slowing you down.
I have to look at it as a semi-blessing, because we are, when you're self-employed, all you're thinking about is the next gig. So you're just that engine is constantly going. The hustle. So this is the first time, I think, ever that I've had time to literally just think, because you just go from tour to tour to tour. You're working on your own music, and there's nowhere to go. We can't be anywhere.
We're in the house.
So here's a chance to really fine tune what our dreams are.
Beautiful. This really is the silver lining on this cloud, that we have been given, and we've been blessed with the gift of time.
Yes.
But you're utilizing it so well. So with the recording part of it, that's staying active for what you are. Tell me about now the live part of it. How are you mapping out the live part?
Well, I had to figure out, I asked a couple of engineering friends, like, okay, what can I do to make this, not a disaster? And what do you call that little unit that you can use?
It's a little PA system.
It's a little PA system.
She's always had it here for, 10 years or whatever it is, longer than that.
But this is my first time using it, like in a live gig.
Shure Vocal Masters,
So I said, I'm going to set this up. I'm going to use my engineering skills to make sure that the audio is right.
She's pretty good.
And, so I would test it out the night before my shows, like just make a video of where the speakers should go. Can you hear my vocal mic? So I got the two speakers facing my iPhone.
It's evolving.
And then, and I go with the mic, and I make recordings, and I see, just what the distance is, before that, is that, do I need to be closer to? So I work it all out like the night before.
Yeah.
So then, I'm not one to ask fans to hey, come check out what I'm doing. I should, but I got to get used to that. But now I'm doing it, because this is the only way to stay connected. And does it take effort? Yeah, but people are willing if you are.
And they came last night. Lots of folks came on to watch her. It was great.
So interesting, the fact that where normally you would have not promoted yourself to that level, now we have found as musicians to stay active, you have to take on that responsibility.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. Yes, you're wearing different hats.
You have to.
And I told her I was proud of her last night, and we made a little home dinner, and it was time to talk a little bit. And I said, I'm really proud of what you did. You just, you're on, you just come on, and you just turn it on, and you do things, and you're not afraid to wear new hats, become an audio person. And there's thousands of people watching. I don't know, 10,000 people were on and she's doing it oh man, there's a buzz. I got to deal with that, and I'm like, and she does that.
Well, people forgive you. They know this new technology. So they just, there's some glitches. As long as you can just go ahead and fix it, they're okay.
Yeah, there are glitches. Like it cut off in the middle of the first song because I was running it from back there, and an alarm came on, and I went to hit it, and the whole thing shut down, and everybody's texting in, what happened? You guys are gone. So anyway, she's good at this stuff. She fixed it.
Safe to say, as we are given lemons, you are really making some great lemonade here. I mean, you really are taking advantage of the fact that reaching as many people that you reached in that performance. Listen, where would you have reached that amount of people from your home? So you've had to really embrace technology.
Yes, we had to. And, we're learning, I'm teaching him, he's teaching me. And so what I love about this particular place in time is people are forgiving. They know it's a new thing. They're not like, oh my gosh, that was awful. What happened to the sound?
That's right.
Why does she have to go fix the camera? They know, they love
They're
it.
Forgiving.
And this is a reality television era. We're used to perfection. all the time.
You have to be good when
you
you're
have to
paid,
be great. And so these little glitches are like, it makes me stronger. I have to tell you, get over it and just do it. Just do it. They're there and they're there for you.
Just do it. I like that. It's true.
Literally just do it. You know, by the spontaneousness of learning, this curve that we're all on as far as taking technology in is allowing us to reach all these different people just from the confines of your home.
Yes.
Interesting.
This really is amazing when you think about it. Right?
It is amazing.
It is, Dom. You're right, because you can't go out and play.
No,
we can do home concerts and things.
Which we're going to do something together.
So you mentioned, David, as far as some of the piano stuff that you're working on, are you listening to music that you haven't heard in a long time? Are you listening to any new music? Are you allowing that to come into your life now?
Yeah, well, these books, you know, like I said, I'm a big blues fan, so this wasn't planned. They're just sitting here on my piano, so I got like basic blues, you know, blues keyboards, then some classical stuff, finger powered, you know, exercises. So my point is that it's extremely varied. There are hundreds of books around me, hundreds. Sight reading.
He's on it in the morning, afternoon, and all night.
Left hand, right hand, working on scales and then videos. And so I'm trying to get and I said to her last night, I'm going to be good one day. If I stay at it, you know, maybe a year from now, if we're in this house arrest, so to speak, stay positive and keep growing and learn all my books and listen to music. I don't see any live gigs coming. I'm not getting any calls for that because there are none.
Yeah.
As you know, no one's going to gather in a room and listen to music.
And you know, the interesting time that we're in as musicians, I mean, those days will come and they'll return, but right now we just don't know when. So every day that comes by, we're one day closer. We just don't know when. But you guys have performed with some of the top musicians in the world, and having that level of influence that you've had with this connection of who you have, I mean, you've got this reach that when we do get back into the thick of the craziness of the music industry, you're going to pick up right back where you left off.
I hope so. Thank you, Dom.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a restart for everyone in the whole universe.
She says that a lot.
I just feel like we've been like spinning, and then when technology happened, we were just everything got faster.
Yeah.
And nobody had time for family or yourself or anything. Not time to think. And we all got time to think now.
People are starting to get closer as family. I noticed there's family, people walking around as families, and there's family close by. You know, everyone is up there in the homes with their wives, and instead of watching TV and drinking a beer, they're maybe talking to their wives. You know, it seems like we've actually gotten closer.
Coming back to the basics.
Yeah.
And it's been good for us because we're tour with different people and we're gone. Sometimes we don't see each other, you know, depending on the tour, 6-7 months a year, you know, depending on who we're out on the road.
Yeah.
So I would text a friend of mine, like, you know what? What's really great to know is I really do like David.
Oh,
I've always loved you.
You never told me that.
Well, I'm supposed to. But, but we're together 24/7, man.
Thank you.
24/7.
I do too.
We used to be gone for 3 months, and I was like, we text like, "Are you okay?" Or now FaceTime, different countries of the world. You know, "Are you all right?" Yeah, everything's going good. So we're used to just always being gone.
Yeah,
but it's great to know we really like each other too. That you can live together 24/7.
And I feel horrible about people that don't necessarily have that friendship and love. I saw Governor Cuomo talking about you know, there was these cabin fever issues and things, and I wonder if that's something that is a negative that needs to be, you know, overcome. We don't have that. I'm happy to be home alone with Wendy. I love it.
Well, a few things. First of all, not only do you not have that because you have a great relationship with each other, but also that's giving you the chance to write and create, so your talent is then being shared to help those people who have cabin fever, that you can give them joy and entertainment in this trying time.
Wow.
Yes,
that's good. That's a good vantage viewpoint from you. That's true. I feel that from all these, you know, do you know about Facebook Live? Are you participating in that?
Very much. I've done several interviews with Facebook Live and using Be Live, which is what they use.
Okay.
Be Live is the video option of Facebook. I've done several interviews using Be Live. And if you go to BeLive.tv, that's an incredible opportunity for musicians to use that live from their Facebook page. They can do these sessions that can reach literally thousands of people.
Wow.
Okay, be
I'll
live.
do that next time.
Be live as in be, like to be yourself, be live.
BELIVE.tv. Go check that out on Facebook and you'll learn how to use it. And as I have, and I do it with all the companies I'm involved with, and of course, you know, this is an incredible opportunity for musicians to take a part of who they are and accept what I say, the responsibility of being an artist.
Yes.
With these people home now, they're listening to more music. They're checking out concerts. They're watching movies. So the arts are now more needed than ever before. So when we come out of this, I'm hoping there's a much greater appreciation for the arts than what we had before. We need to have a better focus that it's the arts that gives us life and quality of living.
Absolutely.
I love that, Tom.
Yes.
I agree. I talked to Steve Ferroni, who's a good friend of mine, the drummer. I know you know him.
Yeah, Steve, very well.
We spoke last night, and we were talking about certain things, and there was a conversation about a bass track and a drum track going on to an average white band thing, and it turned into us discussing this virus. And he was saying, man, I just don't see, you know, when people are yelling and screaming and standing near each other, them not worrying about picking up this communicable disease, you know. And so I think the concert live thing is going to take quite a while, he said, in his opinion, a couple of years maybe. And I said, maybe so. So the new era, he said, I feel could be that we do concerts from our homes. So he was setting up a camera system. You might want to talk to him about that. And he had a drum set there and a mic, and he's doing a radio show, and he's involved in that. We're doing this, and I think we're all going to just be performing from our homes a lot until we can get back out there.
Like he said, it's us, like the artist part of us being out there, and we're still doing our jobs, which is to communicate and empower people through song. And that's my goal, is to reach people, make them forget for a minute. I've had people text, you know what, I don't feel good today, and you made me forget for 2 hours, you know, whatever. And I talk a lot and I sing some, and I just want them to forget, because I want to forget for a few minutes. I'm worried too about different people and family and the unknown. We don't know, you know, the unknown, but I don't want to, you know, I want to be proactive. And so thank goodness for technology.
Absolutely. But it seems like even though you are confined to a degree, you're really allowing your creativity to spawn. You're not holding back. David, You're writing, here you are putting lyrics together and stuff. Wendy, you're really kind of allowing yourself to fuel your creativity instead of feeling sorry for yourself. You're out there making it happen.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. We are, because we want to stay at it. There's no reason to stop. I mean, I'm not going to roll up in a fetal position in the corner and let this virus beat us, right? So we just keep writing, keep playing, keep singing,
and keep supporting each other.
That's true.
I do want to be that bridge for people to feel like they can just like all some of the greatest, you know, artists that we love, like James Taylors of the world. We love those songs because they make us feel a certain kind of way. There's a comfort that comes. So if I could give that to people for an hour, okay, thank you. I'm glad. Thank you for the opportunity. You know, I used to tell people, listen, my shows are long because I talk. It's like a real concert. I talk a little bit. I want to sing a little. I want to check on you. And I need you to put your pajamas on so we can just be comfortable.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to have their
put
pajamas
on your
on.
pajamas and just let me perform for you.
Boy, that is absolutely beautiful. So, you know, you both have been together for a long time. And in this relationship, it'd be good to kind of give a little advice on how have you maintained this long relationship, and how do you work together to give each other the time and the freedom you need to work on your craft, but yet then have time together? How do you find that balance?
I'll let her.
You know, well, the thing of it is balance. Balance is crucial.
That's a good word.
Another thing is there's no need to control anybody. There's no need to choose. So even from the earliest days, then we've been together, 25 years, 26 years. And we have different schedules. I'm a morning person. And he's a morning person. No, I'm a night person.
She's a different kind of morning person. She goes to bed in the morning.
I go to bed like 7 or 8 a.m.
7 in the morning. I am not kidding.
He's waking up at 7 or 8.
I get up and she's going to bed, which is really cool, actually.
It's really good because then in the mornings, he can write, practice. He can run errands, all that stuff. I don't get up till, 1 p.m. or 2 p.m.
Later sometimes.
Unless there's a session. If I got a 10 a.m. session, okay, cool. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm nocturnal.
She's I hear her in here singing and working all through the night. When I wake up, sort of like I'm like just laying there.
If I'm doing a vocal session, I'm singing. Midnight. I'll sing at night in
and
the
then
wee
I go
hours.
back to sleep.
But so distance and time, you know, of not being intimidated by what the other person does. You encourage
give each other space. That's a good thing for people to do.
And be really honest. Like constructive criticism is great. It'll help you. If I'm telling you something or he's making a suggestion, it's only going to empower me. He's made me a better musician. I've always had a gift.
She's made me a better musician.
But he made me a better musician, and because he really works hard, and I worked hard too. But we've just been a mirror of each other on purpose.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. A mirror of each other. I bounce ideas off of her or tell her what's on my mind. Or what do you think of this, honey? And not that we're collaborating at all on the song.
Hardly ever we collaborate. Hardly
right.
ever.
Yeah, it's not that. It's more of a, you know, you're constantly reinventing yourself, as you know. You know this. So being a musician and the person that's involved in this business that you're doing right now. But I think that as we continue to reinvent ourselves, there's a lot of soul searching and a lot of continual development that you can almost not handle it by yourself. You can, but if you have someone to talk about it with, like I'll say, honey, what do you think? Do I sound good when I do this kind of a thing? How's my time? Because she's got incredible feel and time.
Well, we help you. Let me, you let me, like he's doing different tours. Bassists do different things. They have different tones. So he'll be like, oh, which bass should I use for Crosby, Stills, Nash?
Yeah.
Is this my Billy Joel bass? I mean, we go through, but he trusts me as a musician. He trusts me. So we got musician life.
That's very true.
And then we got that love life.
Which is great.
Because, I say the best way to sum us up, we are people who love being alone, but we don't want to be alone. We want somebody to love us.
Yeah.
But we definitely are just... We definitely have our roads every day that we just focus.
We leave each other space to be alone.
Yes, that's it.
Absolutely. And I had this, she was mentioning that Fleetwood Mac had called me to do this thing that John wasn't feeling well, the bass player. So they had called Mick Fleetwood and said, can you be in Norway tomorrow? And I was like, wow, really? And he said, can you clone John McVie in 24 hours? And I was like, yes. Well, what are you going to say, right? So she was with me and we were supporting her, and I got all my bases out because I got to sound good on this. I'm a timid guy. I mean, I've got confidence, but I'm certainly insecure, like we all are. I know you feel that way about yourself.
Sure.
So I'm like, honey, which bass do you think I should bring? So I got all the bases out that I thought would be right for Fleetwood Mac, and I played them, and she was like, yeah, that one. No, let's hear that one again. And she helped me do that. Now, I could have just picked one because I've recorded all of them, but her ears are so good, and her musical talent and her whole perspective on what I've done in my life, having a friend like this to support me and help me through that decision. And it was important because that was my axe. That was what I was taking with me on my weaponry to go play with Fleetwood Mac and with no rehearsal, And the same with Toto. When I did that, she did the same thing, or anything, Tim McGraw. So I do the same with her. Like she'll have an idea.
I need charts from him and keys.
Yeah, I'll write charts for her.
It's like, can you, that takes time. Can you give me
I'll do it.
So he does charts because I don't know how to do that.
So you really have found the balance of each other's talent and skills. You're feeding off of each other. This is so great to hear. It's so great to hear that what you have built with each other is an incredible feeling of trust.
Yes.
That's it.
Trust not only as people, but as musicians. And that balance is extremely helpful, man, for every relationship. But you guys really are an example of this, which is beautiful to see.
Well, yeah, we've seen each other in a lot of bad situations. Like I've been fired, and like we all have.
Not me.
Well, actually, she has.
I haven't.
There have been a few, but anyway, but, I've been fired like we all have. And it knocks the wind out of you. And you can see when somebody like that is hurting, and then she doesn't come up and try to make me feel better about it, but she might say something about it, and that would make me feel better. You know what I'm saying? It's a perspective that she would have.
Just like this, I don't think if you've been fired, tours end.
No, I've been
then you
fired.
have to find other things. And so in that interim, in that section, that's when you just like, hey man, don't worry about it. the next gig is coming. Don't even sweat it. Just do nothing for a minute. He's like, no, I got to find the next gig. I'm like, it's coming.
I saw it, honey. I saw it.
No,
They
and the
fired
next
me.
tour always happens. It always shows up.
You know, that's absolutely great advice, because what you're saying is really profound, that we need for these interviews to be heard. Don't worry, the next gig is coming. It'll be there. Beautiful advice.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I saw the guy who used to play in Mannix. There's a television show when I was a kid. I'm dating myself, but you know, Mike Connors, I think his name was. Mannix? He was an actor in Hollywood, and I remember I saw him on Johnny Carson, and they asked him something, and he said, you know, every time we wrap a movie or something, I feel like it's the last one I'm ever going to do. I panic. When's the next gig? And it always happens. I always get called for another gig, you know, and it's true. You don't have to fear. Just know that when this thing ends, this whole virus and
there's life,
and not necessarily even worry about the virus. Just, I mean, we have to practice social distancing. I believe we have to do the stay-at-home thing. It's important. We have to save ourselves as the human race. We have to save ourselves. We don't want to get anyone sick, so staying at home is good.
That's good. But right now, we're encouraging people from the house.
Yeah, we are from the house.
So staying at home, the social distancing is so important. You're staying at home, which you're allowing yourselves to understand the respect that we have for humanity, which is extremely important. But what you're doing, which I'm really impressed with, is you're continuing the energy and the effort every day to not only improve yourself on your craft of what you're doing, but then you're collaborating with yourselves individually, together, and then with other people to keep on producing music that will absolutely inspire and empower people throughout the world, just from your singing and your David, with now your piano playing, getting to a higher level.
I really want
to. Always been great.
Thank you. And I'm going to study some upright. You can't see it, but around the corner, I've got 4 of them standing there. And, you know, I want to get better on that. So I'm going to find a teacher and get on Skype lessons with him and learn some bowing and different things. And I just want to get better. Like you said, come with a rebirth of like, I'm going to be a new playing guy. I'm going to sound great on upright. I'm going to be knowledgeable on the keyboard. I'll play electric bass and do gigs again. And Wendy will be great singing, as she always is. She's always practicing and singing.
Yeah.
No, always. The thing if I'm doing sessions, you practice all day and night. I don't sing all day.
She doesn't do it like I do, but she's always she watches a lot of television and sings the melodies from the TV.
Well, because that's my first ear training came from.
She really does.
Yeah.
The scores.
Perry Mason.
Perry Mason. She'll be like.
Any way that we can do it to
first ear training. That's all.
Any way we can do it to constantly grow. This is fantastic. Well, I think what's really magical about it is what you said. This really is about a rebirth.
Yes.
And from that is really beautiful. The fact that you are both individually improving yourselves and you're looking to come out of this rebirth. That's a very, very powerful understanding to take this to this next level. Wendy, thank you so much. David, thank you so much. We hope to see you around real soon, and we'll touch base for sure. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Dom Famularo here, the Sessions panel. This is so exciting. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Click the subscribe button to be a part of what we're doing. The views help us tremendously. All of your comments, we read them and react to them. This is incredible. The support you're giving us is great. The Sessions panel. We'll see you real soon.